it's either a virtuous cycle or it becomes a vicious cycle that both in
I like that, virtuous cycle
and vicious cycle, right? Is it always wise to put your kids' needs in front of your own? And how does this focus impact your marriage?
I think that today there's a big overemphasis on children's needs, and let's get our children all these activities and all these different things into all these places. But those aren't really needs. I mean, I think the first question that we need to ask is, what are children's needs? What are genuine needs, and what really is important for children? One of the most important things for children is to know that their parents' relationship is sound and strong. And if they don't have two parents in a household, it's to know that one parent that they have, or whether they have one parent in two households, that the parents are grounded themselves and can take care of the children. So back to a married couple, if the children see that that couple takes time to prioritize their relationship, then that children feels more safe. That creates the ground that the whole family walks on. And if the parents' gas tank together is depleted, they're not going to parent well. And they're not going to get along so well. So not only do they not take care of themselves and then their children, but the whole thing falls apart. And the children don't see the role models for a good relationship, which is one of the things as parents that we really want to teach our children too, is how to be in a respectful relationship and take decent care of yourself and the people around you.
I've heard it said that your marriage should be your first priority and your children are your first responsibility. And I loved that. I think that puts it really into perspective. Yeah.
I think too we have to recognize the need to teach children balance. And when two people are in a relationship and it becomes a family, we have an entirely different dynamic and everybody has needs there. And so if we say, well, we only cater to the children's needs or we put them first all the time, we're not teaching them to live in society. And if we don't give them that gift, we're really falling down and dropping the ball, I think.
Yeah, and added to that, the children are like sponges. They soak up unconsciously the model of the parents. Then when they grow up, they unconsciously recreate that model. So they will relive their parents' marriage in their marriage. And so if parents are not loving and taking care of themselves and being good models of mental, emotional, and relational health, they simply, by default, produce a relationally dysfunctional child.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. It feels like it's either a virtuous cycle or it becomes a vicious cycle that both in
I like
even
that, virtuous cycle
and vicious cycle, right? Well, but even in our household, as a mother of two boys, 4 and 1, and two entrepreneurs under the same roof, if my husband and I, if we don't get our time to connect, we both get cranky. And that crankiness creates stress, and that stress affects our kids, and that's when the vicious cycle starts.
That's right.
And the opposite is true. I got praised the other night by my husband, Sanjay. I sat down on the couch with him for the first time in maybe years, and I watched TV, and I didn't multitask, and he was so happy. And so just those small things that we can do in terms of spending time with our partners, I think does help the kids, because when we're connected, we are such better parents.
So what I'm hearing you say, Andrea, it's like that proverbial oxygen mask. It needs to go on your
put your face
first, and
That's
you
cool.
stay healthy and be able to thrive, and then put it on your child. And so I love you're saying, yes, our children's needs, but what do they need? They need focused attention, but they need boundaries, and they need to see a healthy relationship with their parents, but they do need boundaries and structure.
And they do need to know the difference between wants and needs.
Yes.
If we don't have that calibrated as adults, we can't teach that to our children. But needs, I think that you're very wise when you say that we have to really take care of what do children actually need.
Right.
And what they need is relationship rather than things. And most of the time, things compensate for the absence of the relationship.
Yes, way too
And
often.
then the child suffers.
Well, or the activities, the parents feel so compelled because it's the sense of competition. I need to get my kid in 17 things. Well, then that's causing so much stress, and no one is enjoying it, and everybody's kind of feeling badly and burned out. So what they need is, I would say, in addition to probably less stuff, but more quality time together where they are able to enjoy and not feel like they're getting over-programmed.
Right.
And not quality time that is task-based,
Yeah.
but actually interaction, seeing each other, actually, just sitting down and gazing at each other for a moment. Like, how are you really, and who are you today? And really engaging in that way, which we're when we're in the minivan running through the fast food place to get to soccer.
Right.
We are not having that experience at all.
Yeah, these are a lot of great takeaways. I think the key is not to say, hey, I'm going to always put my kids' needs first, but to really focus on the relationship and make sure that's strong, to differentiate between needs and wants, and even if it's a little bit of time each week, to give a little bit of that focused quality time on each child so that they are really seen and are getting that attention from their parents.